think there's two things that I'd like to say about Eidos. The first one is somehow I think it has to become more democratic. Right now the Eidos structure works through people who have leadership positions at universities and they select people. But particularly in Indigenous group, we're missing a lot of people because I don't think they've been selected all that here. The second thing I think that Eidos can do is it can be an advocate in Indigenous for the many people who want to undertake research but have at this stage got qualifications that make that impossible for them to do. One of the things we've discussed here in our group has been, is it possible to have, we talked about research capacity, I don't know what's capacity. Now, because of the way the Eidos was structured, this meeting, we're missing a lot of people that we feel would ensure and improve our capacity. And one of the things we have to do is find out who actually works in the area and who can be added to the group and join with them. However, one of the things that we wouldn't get is very strong people in communities who probably don't even have a Year 10 education. And one of the things we've been thinking about is some form of education where they can actually do something that might give them equivalent like an MBA without having the prerequisites to come in, as long as they're shown a strong group. Because we've met people in the communities that want to research how their traditional knowledge can be used in a modern society, but if they have to go on to academic areas, we have to say to them it'd be 10 years before you could even get to the point of doing it. The other thing about Indigenous area that Eidos is where Eidos can really help us is that, I've got a little anecdote here. I have now a project working with 5 schools in the Townsville area who wish, they're secondary schools, boarding schools, who wish to have more Indigenous students doing higher mathematics. We're trying to run a program to try and improve maths teaching and maths learning within those schools. Our first PD day was a day where we didn't talk about mathematics at all, but we focused on the need for those schools to develop whole school community-based programs that built student pride in being Indigenous, that associated Indigeneity with intelligence, that built strong cultural background, that improved attendance, challenged behaviour, and changed the white teachers' attitudes to high expectations. That was very conflicting for the schools, and we've been following it up with people from Chris Sarah's IELE group going up there and talking to them about leadership. We believe that it's not possible to change mathematics within the classroom without major changes in how the school functions and relates to its community. Now, one of the things we've been thinking about as a thing within Eidos here with the group is how can we affect change within communities such as Palm Island? And the only way to do that is it can't be just Indigenous. You'd have to have the social outcomes group, you'd have to have the work, school to work group, you'd have to have the leadership group, you'd have to have the early childhood group. We need to form an integrated project that focuses on each community separately, but there's commonalities with them. And if we could build one case, where we could show how a community could overcome a hell of a lot of its problems with regard to education, health, law, crime, substance abuse, home abuse, I think then we'd be able to someone who has a product then, who could not only sell it across, I can use that word sell, not only make it available across communities in Australia, but there's a huge growing market, a huge growing interest in this area in Asia, with the many Indigenous groups they've got there. So that's one of the things you've asked me how Eidos could work. Well, I think Eidos has to be more open, because right now the structure here, I would never have attended this. I didn't even know it was on within our university. I would never have attended this group, except Annette said, I can't go, can you go in my place? So that's how I'm here. And I'm sure there's other people in my university in the same boat, unless Erica, let's have this out, I'm sure, unless Erica finds them. So I think you've got to have greater democracy, you've got to have greater openness, and you've got to have the ability to form groupings across these subgroupings you have here to tackle problems in a transitional area. But at any rate, that's what we're doing in our mathematics, and we have formed an alliance with Crisara's group and with Eidos to try and provide what we cannot provide, because we really don't provide the mathematics.
Thanks,
Is that
Tom.
more than 2 minutes?